Dare I say this is the biggest game of the season?
You know,
The biggest game of the season. Guys, this is the Palace Everton FA Cup quarter final preview. What a game this is for both clubs. For both clubs.
Mhm.
JC, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm happy. Stress free right now. Even though today was stress, but from now stress free until next week. Actually,
Yes.
no, until the end of Sunday.
Yeah.
Mm.
Aye. The nerves are jingling now. Why have to hold? What are you saying, mate?
Okay, part of me is excited, part of me is nervous, a part of me doesn't know what way to look because you know how the FA Cup goes. The minute people say this team's a favourite, that team's a favourite, you're like, yeah, this is not happening. But obviously, we know what our opponents are all about. Big up to Matt, who's back on the channel. Good to see you again, mate.
All right, boys.
I can't
how are
lie.
you? All right.
I'm nervous, but that's good because if I was confident and cocky out here, I'd be like, no, this is not good. So the fact I'm nervous makes me think, okay, I know what's going to happen, so it's all good.
Spot on. Luke, how you doing?
I'm all good, man. Buzzing for Sunday. Can't wait. If we get to Wembley, I think there'll be scenes in Croydon.
It'll be crazy. It will be crazy. But obviously, on the other side of the coin, there has to be a team that tries to spoil it. Welcome back, Matt, obviously, to the channel. Just before we shout you out, Astro sends his apologies. He was going to jump on tonight as well. Fellow Everton fan from the States, but he got called into work. So it is what it is. Matt, how you doing?
All good, man. All good. Feeling a bit outnumbered here, but I'll try my best to back my team. Obviously, last night's game as well, I don't know whether it boosts my confidence or kind of gives me a false sense of hope. So it's one of those. It feels strange to be on talking to people about football on the back of an Everton win because we've only had 7 of them in the league this year. But obviously, we've had a decent little cup run, and that's where we're meeting each other this Sunday in the quarterfinals of the cup. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting stuck into this and dissecting what's going to be a 50-50 game, I think.
It could go either way. It really can. Let's address the comments. Then we're going to go into that Everton-Newcastle game first and foremost. So, big up, Santi. Be happy, very happy for you guys, and certainly believe you have a real chance. We do. But it's one of those games. It's one of those games. Big up. This is a massive. It is a huge game.
Yeah.
Yes, Rob. Big up to you. Yep, I agree. Biggest game of the season so far. 100%.
This is up there in terms of Millwall.
Yeah, definitely, and for completely different reasons.
Oh yeah.
No, but the magnitude of it, because obviously the Millwall game only comes around once in a generation, and an FA Cup quarter-final only comes around like a bus in Dublin. You're waiting hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. 6 go by, they're out of service, and when the one does turn up, it's only going halfway.
Yeah.
Matt knows what I mean.
Yeah, or it's full and you can't get on it. One or the other,
Yeah.
We'll get a few in a minute, right? Big up, Chairman. How you doing? Everyone's excited. Big up, Jamie. I knew Jamie was there. Hey, sweetheart. I know. Yeah. The other side of the coin, boy.
That's it, man. Don't have kids.
Speaking of kids, how's your little one then?
He's good, yeah. Thank God today was the first day where he was kind of back to himself, jumping on the trampoline and all that. So yeah, been a long week, man. Just stress because I'm getting work done in the house as well, and it's just one of those weeks where the workers have to come in and do their job, and you feel bad telling them to keep it down. The little fella's getting sick, but at the same time, the work has to be done, and it's just kind of like, ugh. So it's one of them stressful week, but yeah, hopefully now he's on the mend. He's gotten his appetite back, and he's back to being a normal little brat. So yeah, delighted.
I mean, but that kind of links and nicely to the next bit. But obviously you've had a tough week. So how long did it take the stewards to free from the post last night, Matt?
I got a bit of grief, all right, from a Twitter post I put up last night. So yeah, I put up a tweet saying the more and more I look at that red card tackle, the more and more. Now, what I meant to say was the more and more I can see why the referee is given a red card. What I actually said was why I can see it's a red card, which basically meant the whole of Everton Twitter jumped on top of me and calling me all sorts, saying if you think that's a red card, football's not for you and all this kind of stuff. But the reason why I said it was that I can see why the referee is going to turn this from a yellow to a red, because Alan has his 2 feet off the ground and he's committed a professional foul, possibly endangering the opponent. So it was one of those, and I was kind of saying, I was trying to basically give myself reasons as to why the referee gave it, but it's never a red card. It's a yellow card. Everybody in the stadium, even Newcastle fans, Alan Shearer even came out after the game and said, "There's no way it's a red card. It's a professional foul, yellow card. Get on with it." And the fact that VAR had to look at it, and the referee was able to look at a still frame of basically the point of contact where it looked like Alan's studs were slightly raised, and basically Everton appealed it today, and the appeal was rejected not once but twice. So basically, the referees just probably don't want to apologise to Everton twice in the space of 2 weeks after the Man City debacle with the handball as well. So, listen, at the end of the day, we got away with it. It wasn't really. It was actually a very entertaining game. I don't know if any of you guys watched it, but it was one of those games where Newcastle actually dominated possession, but Everton were just throwing themselves into all the tackles. It was a real kind of old school game where people were getting pushed off the ball. Richarlison got flattened by Dan Burns twice off the ball, and there was just yellow cards for stupid little things. And it was kind of one of those games, but both teams didn't create much whatsoever. There was no real chance where you could say. I think after 90 minutes, you probably would have said. I think Newcastle would have been happy with a point, to be fair, and Everton would have been disappointed with a point. But Everton didn't really deserve it. But there was just one moment of absolute quality from Iwobinho and a 1-2 with DCL, and it was literally the only real bit of quality in the game, to be honest with you. The rest of it was kind of all this real tippy-tappy tackles going in left, right and centre, but that was a real moment of quality, and delighted that we got the goal in the 9th minute of the 14 minutes that were added on after a protester decided to chain his neck to the front post. So that was an interesting game altogether.
Yeah, Vibes was saying it was you.
Well, listen, all I'm gonna say is that they should give that protester a free season ticket, because he's the reason why Everton scored in the 9th minute of added on. So should give him a free ticket. But big up Vibes, good man.
There it is. What we're gonna do? I'm gonna go and get we'll go some water and stuff. We'll do this predictions. There's only 4 games, but we'll predict them anyway, so that JC doesn't say I'm skipping matches and such. So we'll still do the 4 games. And I should be back in time to chime in on my predictions before 8 o'clock anyway, when the games kick off. Well, today's Wolves Leeds, I think.
Yeah.
Leeds,
yeah. Cool. I'll leave you to crack on with those. Be back in a sec.
Yeah.
All right then. Well, I don't know how I'm gonna write this down because I don't have the spreadsheet.
But before we do the predictions, JC, let's quickly touch on that win for Everton last night, because my fear was if they lost to Newcastle last night, Charity Professional Football Club was going to turn up on Sunday. What's that? You haven't scored a goal in 600 years? Haven't won a game in 900 years? Okay, yeah, Charity Professional Football Club will sort you out. Now that they've won, it's like, okay, now I'm a lot less worried about that, because, yeah, I hate when that happens.
but it's one of those things where Everton seem to have a good result followed by an absolutely shocking result. So it probably bodes well in your favour. Like, if you look at it, like we battered Leeds 3-0 and then we got hockeyed in the next game. We should have got a point against Man City, then we got beaten 5-0 by Spurs. So we play well, we play terrible. So I'm hoping we break that duct this Sunday. And I think it's probably one of those games, lads, for both teams. It's kind of the game before the international break. You're not worried about a league game coming up on the Tuesday or the Wednesday or anything like that. You're not worried about and like that, like only half of your players, if half, are gonna go away on international duty. So if you are feeling that little bit tired in this game on Sunday, you're gonna give that little bit extra because you know you have those couple of extra days off as well. So I think if I'm looking at the game on Sunday, I think Crystal Palace have the advantage in terms of playing at home, and then also we have 3 or 4 players who are out now due to being cup tied, and obviously Alan is after getting suspended, so we're really, really light in midfield, and Jordan Pickford he has a virus. It's not COVID, it's some sort of virus. It's been going through the team the last few weeks. Godfrey had it, Damari Gray had it, now Donny van de Beek and Pickford have it. I think Damari Gray had it a few weeks ago as well. So it's just one of those things. But Pickford's touch and go for the weekend anyway. But Begovic had a decent enough game last night as well, so we should be okay. But I am worried about the middle of the park. But if I'm thinking it's going to be 60-40 in somebody's favour, I'm kind of leaning towards Palace for those reasons alone. Palace being at home and Everton are without a bit of quality there in midfield.
No, that's fair, but I think our fear was, obviously we've been on a really good run of late. We've won games we needed to win. We got a massive point at home to City, which I don't know how we pulled that off, because I've slated our goalkeeper all season, but credit to him, on Monday night he was fantastic. And obviously we've got a couple of players out injured, which normally we'd be worried about, but Kuyate's been great since he's come back from AFCON. So I see what you're saying. You would back us more as the favourites because we're at home. Obviously, we played you at home earlier in the season and got a very convincing 3-1 win, albeit under a different manager, totally different situation you were in at the time. But because it's the Cup and league form means diddly squat, you can't even look at form and say Palace should win, Everton should win. It's literally, if Everton turn up in the first half an hour and put us under pressure, we could be in trouble. If we turn up in the first half an hour and put you under pressure, the crowd will be on the team to get that first goal and put you under pressure to come out of the shell. So it depends. Plus, Vieira and Lampard will both want to win this to, to boost their profiles as managers.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, I just said something. I think, like, if we had won against City on Monday, it would be typical Palace to actually lose on Sunday. But I think the draw on Monday has actually set us up quite nicely for Sunday's game. And for Everton, I think defensively you look a bit shaky at sometimes. So I feel like we could go at your defence on both flanks. Well,
Yeah,
Coleman.
100%, yeah.
You know who's going to play at left back?
Well, I think what's going to happen is I think Michaelenko was going to be kind of like bled into the team kind of slowly but surely. But obviously everything that's going on over in the Ukraine at the moment, I don't think his head is kind of in it. It's not that it's not in it 100%, but maybe mentally he might be a little bit weak. But then you have Ben Godfrey's back, so I wouldn't be surprised if you have Ben Godfrey playing there. Seamus Coleman, in fairness to him, he's actually been doing well the last couple of games. He played a really great game last night against Newcastle. And the back line, I think there's 2 centre-halves has been Michael Keane and Mason Holgate. But to touch on what Nate said there a minute ago is that our back line is it's based on confidence. So like Nate said there, if Palace come out in the first 20 minutes and nick an early goal, I think that's the game over with, because our back line is so shaky. And if they make a couple of mistakes early on, then they're in serious trouble. Like, in fairness, they'll throw themselves in front of everything. The whole back line with Godfrey, Keane, Holgate, Seamus Coleman. In terms of attitude, their attitude's always going to be 100%. But in terms of their confidence, if they make a mistake early and go a goal down, like you're seeing it there against like Man City, like they played really, really well at the back, and then Michael Keane made a slight mistake and it just rattled them then, you know what I mean? And then Michael Keane scored an own goal against Spurs early on in the game, and then we lost 5-0. So it just goes to show you how weak mentally our back line is. But one big plus for me is that Dominic Calvert-Lewin is back. you could see in the first 60 minutes of the game last night that Richarlison was just getting bullied by the centre halves. Dan Burns and I think it was Kraft, I think it is his name is, and Shar at the back there. They were just bullying him. They were just pushing him off the ball. He didn't get a chance. He wasn't winning any headers. But then when Dominic Calvert-Lewin came on, he threw himself around and Richarlison was running off him. So I think this weekend, I think you can see Richarlison going off to either the left-hand side or the right-hand side of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Dominic Calvert-Lewin playing through the middle. And then I think Damari Gray could be dropped for Dominic Calvert-Lewin to come in and have Anthony Gordon out on the left-hand side. And you can even see Gordon and Richarlison swapping wings and stuff like that. So, but like Nate said, I think the first goal is going to be massive in this game. I really do. I think if Palace get the first goal and it's early, I think Everton could crumble. And I think if Everton get the first goal, no matter what time in the game, I think Everton probably have enough defensively, if they're confident, to see a tight game through. But I could see it going all the way to penalties, to be honest with you, as well. So it's going to be one of them games. I can't call it. I said it to the guys in the chat. I said it to the guys in the chat all week. It's literally 50-50 on a coin. Like you can't, not one of us here is going to sit here and say Everton are going to win, or Palace are going to win, or it's going to be a draw. Nobody knows. It's just one of those games. You can't call it. Classic FA Cup tie. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, yeah, as Nate said earlier, that league form means nothing in this completely.
Yeah,
like you've seen teams go very like Watford go all the way to the final and still get relegated the same season in the Premier League.
Wigan won it.
Yeah, and when we got to the final and
we nearly got relegated.
We nearly got relegated that season. So it wouldn't surprise me if Everton beat us, but I wouldn't not back us because of how we're playing lately. So as you said, it is completely 50-50 and you can't call it.
Yes, spot on. Matt just heads up, there's a bit of an echo coming from your side.
Oh, is there? Yeah. Hold on. Is that any better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I be completely honest with you? And I'll say this to Jamie Phillips earlier on. I'm actually glad Everton beat Newcastle because I didn't want them going into that game knowing that they hadn't won in a long time. And as Nate would say, charity professional football club turn up.
I don't want to bring out the promo again, Rich. You know how I feel about doing that promo.
I don't know. Have we got that promo on video? We don't yet, do we?
No, thankfully I did it as a WhatsApp voice note. So.
But I don't know.
If you get it as the audio, then we'll have that promo running. Don't worry.
You know, and I just feel like maybe Everton coming out with a bit of confidence helps us, because the one thing we don't want is a team to sit back, because then it could be like, we need those spaces in behind, you know, for Saha and Elise to just isolate the fullbacks 1v1.
Yeah, but we need Vieira to get our lineup spot on, because the thing is, right, as much as
injuries and illnesses.
Yeah. But see, as much as people will be saying Guaita should start because of his performance at Man City, Butland's been the cup keeper. And I'm a firm believer that if you play one goalkeeper in the league, which has been predominantly Guaita, albeit Butland deputised every now and again, bar the mistake against Millwall, where, let's be fair, he was just trying to play rush goalie to give them a 1-0 advantage, because you know how it is, playing these lesser teams, you got to give them a head start. And then the Stoke goal, he probably should have done better, to be fair, but that was poor defending as well, as much as it was his fault. I'm thinking, if you play Guaita, it's harsh on Butland. If you play Butland, no one can really complain, because Butland's been relatively solid, albeit he played Hartlepool in between Millwall and Stoke, so you can't really judge him and say he's been phenomenal the whole tournament, because Hartlepool barely laid a glove on us. So, you know, and obviously players like Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison. If Andros Townsend comes back and scores a screamer at Selhurst Park, I'm done out here. I'm turning off the stream. I'm going home. I'm just locking off everything, because we know what he can do. You know, we're not strangers to him smacking in a 35-yarder. You know, but it all depends on, like I said, it depends on how each team approaches the first 25 to 30 minutes. Because remember, we started massively slowly against Millwall, and we were like, "What are we doing? Do we not realize how big this game is?" And then you've seen in the second half, we woke up for 15 minutes, got our 2 goals, and got through. But you're like, why did it take us to the second half to turn up in the biggest game of our season prior to obviously this cup tie? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's worrying. Like, whatever about league games, but to play one of our closest rivals and only turn up for 15 minutes in the second half, it's like, yeah, I don't like that.
I think this game for Everton is kind of probably see the way you're saying, like the cup game is your biggest game of the season, stuff like that. Every game at the moment for Everton is their biggest game of the season because of where we are in the league and stuff like that. So we're really struggling. So I think in terms of Everton's mentality for this game, I think they're probably thinking that it's a bit of a relief that it's a cup game, and that they can just go out and try and play, try and win the game, try things differently and stuff like that. Because in the league game at the moment, the backline is so worried about making mistakes and costing points and stuff like that. Whereas this is knockout football. If you ask me now, which is a bigger game, Crystal Palace this Sunday or West Ham and Burnley after the international break, I'd probably say West Ham and Burnley after the international break. To be honest with you, that's just me now. I'm not speaking on behalf of all.
Big games, actually.
Yeah, so I like the way I'm seeing it now at the moment is that obviously, listen, lads, the FA Cup is great. It's great to be in the FA Cup, and this game on the weekend, if you win, you're in the semi-final. You're going to Wembley and stuff like that. It's great. But Everton are in a bit of uncharted waters at the moment in terms of league position, and we have 2 massive games coming up against Burnley, against West Ham. We're not going to have Alan for both of those games, so we're going to struggle in midfield there. Maybe Dele Alli comes in for these 2 league games as well. But Everton need about 10 or 12 points left out of their 11 games. And if we don't pick up at least 4 points in these next 2 league games, we have very, very, very tough games coming up.
And your running is atrocious. I looked at their running and I was like, oh my word.
We still have to play Man United, still have to play Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Leicester twice.
To play us as well.
Really. We have Palace, Brentford, Watford, Burnley, and Leicester twice. They're the 6 games where I'm kind of saying, right, they're the games where we need to pick up points.
Yeah,
to be fair, like, do you know what I mean? Like, but the rest of them are just be treated like free hits. I'm not really afraid of Man United at Goodison Park or Arsenal at Goodison Park because we've beaten them before. But it's just whether we turn up, and I'd rather get the points on the board now than have to wait to play Arsenal at the end of the season. Arsenal last game of the season. When they're going for Champions League, you don't want that, like, so.
No, well, Matt, look, obviously, I hope Everton stay up because I've always loved going Everton away, and I was talking to a Liverpool fan today, and even he was saying he'd much rather you stay up, only because the Premier League without the Merseyside derby would just be beyond weird. It'd be like, no, this is not what we're used to.
Good point, you know.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I know people are saying it'd be funny because a big club like Everton should not be where they are. But that's more on their board. Because if you look at it, the Everton fans haven't demanded trophies, this, that. They just wanted a team that competes and gets into those positions. But Mashiri, and I think it's Usmanov, am I right?
Well, not anymore.
Okay. Obviously he was involved in the whole Everton project. You look at it and you think, how the hell did that happen? Because a lot of the signings they made, you were thinking, do you know what? Everton are moving very impressively. But because managers change hands and managers don't like certain players, it just goes crazy.
It's more the managers, to be honest, as well. The fact that we keep changing, and the current Everton squad are just the DNA of the last 6 managers. And the way it is at the moment, we just can't afford to sack Frank Lampard. We have to give Frank Lampard as much time as possible in order to obviously keep us up this season, and then give him at least 3 or 4 windows to mould the team, because there's a lot of players there as well that are
vibes.
Yeah, well, let's jump in and do the score predictions, because
cool.
Wolves Leeds kick off in a couple of minutes anyway.
Oh yeah.
So I think we'll go. We'll do it across. We'll go Rich, then me, then Nate, then Guest.
I'm going first for once. Oh, cheers.
Well, you're not hosting the score predictions today, so
That's a good point. I mean, to be fair, I do have the PowerPoint I usually have up anyway. But anyway, let's go. Where we at? Wolves Leeds.
Wolves leads first.
You know, Wolves don't concede many goals, so I'm going to go 2-0 Wolves.
All right, I'll go 1-0 Wolves. Nate?
2-0 Wolves. Leeds haven't won at Wolves since 1973. So that kind of shows you how bad they are at Molineux. So if you don't back Wolves now, you're looking for it. Now, obviously, now that I've said that, I probably jinxed them, but you know, history and form is against Leeds on this one, so I'm backing Wolves.
Matt?
Obviously, I want Wolves to win because of the league position. We're a point behind Leeds, I think it is, with 2 games in hand. Yeah, he did, yeah. Apparently, he punched one of the assistant managers or something like that by accident when he was celebrating and broke his left hand or something. But
did he punch Duncan Ferguson? Because he's like a big fat brick wall.
No, I don't.
Big
yeah,
Dunk.
he said Yeah, I'd say he hurt himself when he was celebrating because there was absolute scenes when Everton scored that goal last night. But I'm hoping that Wolves win about 4-0 just to ruin that goal difference as well. So I'm gonna go Wolves to win 3-0.
Yeah, Luke, I know you're not so much in this league, but you can still chime in with predictions.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, Luke, what do you want?
1-1.
Okay. Rich, Villa, Arsenal.
Ooh.
I'm going to say Arsenal, but I don't know the scores.
Both teams attack well, but both teams can't defend well.
I'll go 2-1 Arsenal. I'm not confident saying that.
Okay. I'm going 2-2.
3-2 Arsenal. Just.
Yeah, I think that Coutinho's just taken their attack to different levels.
Matt, I'm sorry, the Liverpool contingent have turned up, boy.
Yeah. Who's the mods in there? Who's the admin in there? Block them, man.
Yeah.
You hear Matt trying to talk South London. I swear you support a Scouts team, though.
Yeah, Matt, Villa, Arsenal.
Just for Tariq's sake, I want Arsenal to have a nice, easy, comfortable 3-0 win after his midweek stream there.
My gosh, did you see the meltdown?
I thought he was literally gonna have a stroke, man. So I think I just said, like, listen, let Arsenal have a nice 3-0 win there. It'd be great.
He was a bit worse for wear.
No, nothing beats an Expressions meltdown. Trust me.
Actually, yeah, do you know what? Aston Villa to win 6-0 and score 6 goals in the first 10 minutes to see Tariq go mad. It'd be great.
Careful for that Tariq Judge, Matt. Careful for the Tariq Judge. You don't want it to hit you.
He better not come in here and say Everton are going to win on the weekend because that'll just.
It's going to be a boomerang, you know. It's going to swing round and round and pop.
I'm going to go 3-1 Arsenal.
Okay.
Did you get my prediction there? Did you? I don't think I gave one, did I?
Yeah, you said 3-0 Arsenal.
Okay, that'll do. Yeah.
Rich, Leicester, Brentford.
Just because it's at the King Power, I'll go
Brentford to win.
3-1 Leicester.
Okay, I'm going 1-0 again, Leicester. Because Leicester ain't been on proper fire lately, have they?
No.
Nate?
1-0 Brentford. Because Leicester are in all sorts of trouble, especially with that Conference League malarkey going on. The longer they're in that, the more they're going to be distracted by it. So this is Brentford's chance to grab another 3 points on the board. Obviously, Matt doesn't want to hear that, obviously. But if Brentford want to have any chance of saving themselves, they need to be getting a result here.
Matt?
3-2 Leicester, just for the same kind of points that the boys are saying. Both teams are very weak at the back at the moment.
Luke?
Leicester are going to be tired, but Vardy's back, so
2-1 Brentford. Tony's on fire, so I'm gonna go for him to score. 2-1 Brentford.
Sweet. While Rich is lagging around while he's showing off his hat, we'll go to him and say Spurs West Ham. And you're muted, so muted, mate.
We can't hear you.
It's a good thing you can't hear me. I was struggling to think of a score. 2-1 Spurs.
Okay. I don't know. I'm feeling like a 1-0 merchant this week. But I don't know. I just think that Harry Kane's hit a bit of form lately, and you just can't. I don't think you can stop that. I'd say.
When did Jordan turn into Sam Allardyce's son? Jordan Allardyce over here with his 1-0.
Well, you know, it's 3-1 Spurs for me. But Nate,
Mhm.
more importantly, what are you thinking?
Well, actually, West Ham like playing Tottenham at their new stadium. So, if anything, recent form would favour West Ham because I think West Ham were the first team to win at the new stadium. So, and this is West Ham's cup final, remember, because they don't play them lot in Bermondsey at all. So, obviously, Tottenham are in urgent need of trying to keep up with the chasing pack in Europe. But West Ham got a massive result there last night, Europa League quarter final. I think the momentum from that will see them through to a 2-1 win at home with Expressions. With Expressions having a full blown meltdown. Where you got to put in a spliff, blood.
More Rolls than Royce, fam.
that's
my favorite thing he said.
Katie Hopkins football.
And he always has beef with Jeffrey Schlupp. Jeffrey
Oh.
Schlupp.
This fucking guy, blood.
Oh man, Matt.
I'm gonna go with this. If West Ham hadn't went to extra time last night, I would have backed West Ham, but I'm just gonna go 1-1.
And last but certainly not least, Luke.
3-2 West Ham.
Sweet. And
That's a
all
bold
the
prediction, Luke Cena. Big up Seapool for life. Yeah. Huge game. Massive game. Like I was Jordan earlier and I was just like, yeah, if we win, we're trying to get as many fat caps as possible.
Yeah.
If we don't, might just do me and Jordan and cut.
Well, as I said to you, if we win, I don't care about the Formula One after that.
Listen,
Honestly.
if we win Thursday, I'm booking the flights. Don't care. Aer Lingus, Ryanair, I'll fly EasyJet. I don't give a damn how I have to fly. I'm on the first flight over. Trust me.
Man will somehow get the coach.
Innit? I got Chelsea settings and get a bus over. Matt knows what about, but get a bus airing over to London. That'd be fun.
Stop. Getting the boat to Holyhead.
Yeah, from Dunleary.
Yeah, man.
It's a
bumpy ride.
Stop.
Big up, Staffy. What's happening? Hope you all well.
Gracie, we need you to beat Chelsea for us tomorrow.
Well, she's got kind of mixed allegiances.
No. The way Chelsea are moving, you'd want Middlesbrough to win. Like what Chelsea did was a scumbag move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that was terrible from them. To be fair, absolutely.
What was the line they used? Footballing integrity.
How are they taking liberties? Footballing integrity after what they've been doing.
Yeah.
Good to see Mark in the England squad. Same as Connor, but what they've done to TM is a vile. Absolute violence.
Mitchell.
Yeah.
Listen, it's a good thing he's not been called up.
I know we want to keep him up the spotlight.
And not everyone's gonna be looking at him, but everyone's
No,
gonna.
but JC, hold on. As much as that's true, how in the name of God is Luke Shaw, Jabba the Hutt's grandson, getting in ahead of Tyreek Mitchell?
Yeah,
Come on now.
I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve that spot over them. I'm just saying that we've got more chance of keeping him now.
Luke Thomas at Leicester, I could understand. I could understand that if he gets in, but even he didn't get in. It's like, what?
Yeah. However,
I don't think Palace are going to start selling their players. Palace aren't going to be selling their players next season. I think they're going to try and hang on to most people. So
yeah. However, looking at the under-20s, we got Plange and Raksaki in there.
And Wells Morrison got called up to the 18s.
So we got a nice little spread around the England team for once.
Yeah.
But remember, our academy don't exist apparently. We just claim that these players come through our club, but like I keep saying, Copa's Cope is a myth.
Academy doesn't exist anymore, does it? We just built.
Nah, Copa's Cope is a myth apparently. You know, like that.
Yeah, no fullback has ever come through there and succeeded.
Nah, it's not like one of our academy products put £100 million in his pocket on Monday night.
Yeah, and he signed back to us on a free as well, if I remember.
And if that £100 million player had actually maintained he played for the Republic, he wouldn't have been a £100 million player.
Yeah.
Good point. You know.
Well, luckily enough, Klein actually got released from jail. He gave the money back to Man City.
Oh yeah, no, he dropped it off at Brixton Prison.
Yeah.
Big up Staffy. Grace says here, if both Palace and Borough go through, she hopes that Borough gets Palace.
That'll be a hell of a match at Wembley.
That'll be crazy.
Look, we all know the dream scenario, either for us or Everton. Liverpool, City, Chelsea out, Southampton, Borough, ourselves, and Forest through. Then you're like, it's anybody's. Now, it won't happen, sadly, but if it does, it's like, okay, now we can get excited about the FA Cup.
Yeah, the magic
it's Middlesbrough. It's Middlesbrough to lose then.
Careful.
But that would be like can you imagine now if like basically obviously if Everton or Palace get to the final against Middlesbrough, Everton and Palace will be heavy I can't even speak, heavy favourites against Middlesbrough.
Tyreek Mitchell's been called up. Yeah, it's true.
Ooh.
Oh.
That's, when it feels like a little.
So we got 3 players in the England team.
Yeah.
This is different.
Now, the only thing I hope you don't come back injured.
Who else got called up for Palace in the England squad?
Mark Gay and Conor Gallagher.
Gallagher doesn't really play for you, does he?
Stop being salty.
Well,
hold on, Matt. Hold on.
So
wasn't Donny van der Beek going Everton to avoid a relegation battle? You know, like that.
No, he went to Everton because he didn't have to move house.
He was avoiding the relegation battle at Palace, apparently. How did that work out for him?
And you know what's mad?
Listen, there's still a long way to go. There's still a long way to go. Palace could get dragged back into it. Don't worry about it.
Considering how we're playing now, hey, Donny added to that would have been a problem.
I know, yeah.
Matt, there's better chance, and I mean this, there's better chance of Man United winning the Prem than us getting dropped into that relegation scrap.
Oh, no, I don't know. A couple of injuries on international duty there, you never know, could happen.
Mate, if we see Mitchell, Gay, and Gallagher all on the pitch at the same time, that'll be a very proud moment to be a Palace fan.
Yeah.
Very proud.
In fairness, like I've been waxing lyrical about Crystal Palace all season. You guys know that from the chat and stuff like that. I've been saying they're a very, very good team this season. It's good to see them finally kicking on because before last season, I just wanted them out of the league, to be honest. It was just one of those teams that just was there to take points off other teams and not really try and they had no ambition to move up the table. But now under Vieira, bringing the youth in, just prove like the 3 boys getting called up for England just goes to show you that they're going in the right direction. So fair play to them.
A couple of our under-21s got called up to the Irish under-21s as well. I was like, no, that's what I'm talking about. What's it? Killian Phillips and Jake O'Brien. And Jake O'Brien's pulling up trees at Swindon. I was like, this is what I wanted to see.
And Teo as well, no?
And Teo, I think Teo got called up to the 18s, I think.
Yeah.
Do they have English grandparents? Because if they're any use, they'll never play for Ireland.
Well, luckily Teo was born in Dublin, so Adara Mola is Irish. O'Brien is from Cork, so he's definitely Irish, and Killian Phillips is born in Dublin. So again, we're good.
Yeah, but their great granny could be English. That's all it takes.
Nah, this isn't a Jack Grealish or Declan Rice thing. Trust me.
Oh man.
That's it. Big up Nicky in the chat. He said, "What's Martin Kelly over there got to say about? Is he still scared of JC?"
No, all good, man.
Yeah, you've been very quiet, like with the whole JC thing and the Nate thing, like
Yeah, exactly.
when you're on
Because I think
stream.
he knows if we get to the Wembley and he sees us at the Green Man of the Torch, he won't be that confident,
He ain't got a keyboard and a screen to hide behind.
innit? He won't be able to hide behind no keyboard, no phone. It'd be
Wow. So Luke, what you're saying? You're officially a keyboard warrior, yeah?
No,
Or do you just like sliding in JC's DMs?
no,
For no reason.
Hey, yo,
as
Reese,
well.
watch that, yeah?
no, everything's all good. Everything's all good.
Hey, yo, John Cena, I can see you.
Yeah, just obviously say that TM's in the squad. Big up Essex Eagle, by the way. Oh, and you know what? Apologies, because obviously in our last stream we said it was going to be Thursday. Then we realised that Everton were playing, so Matt would have had his full concentration elsewhere. But it would have made a great stream because then we would have had the protester live on stream at the time of the incident. It is what it is.
Yeah, but yesterday was Patrick's Day, so anybody over here was just distracted with Patrick's Day because I was working through it, and Lord.
Yeah, man.
100%. Bar vs Palace at the Riverside Stadium will be rocking, but the next round, the semi-finals are all at Wembley.
Imagine that. Semi-finals, we didn't leave London to get to Wembley. You just love it.
No, Grace was saying that for when Palace get relegated this year from playing Borough next year in the Riverside.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I hope Lampard sends you down.
No, Borough, Middlesbrough are going to come up. That's what she's saying. That's what she's talking about.
I want Everton to stay up as the club, but Lampard, I want him to get relegated.
Oh yeah, 100%. Lampard's a pig.
He said Palace are not a big enough club to manage. You hold that 17th place, young man.
No, he didn't actually say that, did he?
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
We did.
Nah, he
That's
didn't.
not a big enough job for me.
Not a big enough job for him.
Nah,
He was interviewed by Steve Parish and turned around and said it wasn't a big enough job for him.
Waste, man.
Well,
and he got put in a split by the club. He's a legend. That Fat Frank and that.
Yeah, listen. In fairness, in terms of bigger clubs, obviously Palace are doing much better than Everton this year. But in terms of bigger clubs, you probably would argue that Everton are a bigger club to manage. But it's obviously a lot more pressure on them to keep that big club in the bloody league this year. So
you know what it is though with the Lampard situation. He was at Derby. He failed there. He didn't get them promotion. He got the Chelsea job because of who he was.
Yeah,
failed there after spending 200 mil. So he shouldn't have any right to dictate where he should go.
I wouldn't necessarily say he failed at both clubs. In fairness, like the Derby thing was, he went into the boardroom at Derby. He was pretty much given that job as well. But he went into the boardroom at Derby and he was given the squad list and he was told, like, he was looking at the squad list and said, "Oh, Vidra, yeah, he's in the squad. He's a good player. Yeah, he won't be here next year." So he was fighting the losing battle from the start. Now he pulled a few strings and brought in the likes of Mount and Tamori into the squad, which is what he can do. That's what
can't do that anymore because Everton can't get rid of players.
But that's it. But what I'm saying to you is he still has those kind of connections, like Gerrard did up at Rangers. Like Gerrard brought in Coutinho. Coutinho wouldn't be at Aston Villa if Gerrard wasn't there. We know that. Like so, but at Chelsea, in fairness, he done all right. Like with the transfer embargo, obviously, spent a mad amount of money and he tried to bed in 7 or 8 players into a team at the one time. But he qualified, like he won all his matches in the group stage of the Champions League, and they went on to win the Champions League that season with a different manager. Granted, being with a different manager, but like I'd say that his first season at Chelsea, his targets by the board would have been get top 4, and he got top 4. So I wouldn't necessarily say he failed. Like in fairness.
Yeah. Let's get through a few of these comments. Doors or more wheels in the world? Everyone agree doors?
Doors.
Yeah.
No, wheels. It's got to be
doors.
wheels.
All day, every day.
There's always one.
It has to be wheels. Well, then again, are you counting coffin doors as doors?
Yeah.
They're doors.
Yeah.
Doors are doors. Cupboard doors,
Doors are
wardrobe doors.
All right, then are you
Doors are
counting
doors.
tires as wheels? Because it is
Yeah.
circular.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Steering wheels in
day.
a car.
Wheels.
No, but all right. So there's 4 wheels in a car, but there's sometimes 5 doors.
Yeah, but think about all them landfills of old tires.
Motorbikes and push bikes.
Yeah, in racing events, each
Okay,
team's got
moving
like
on.
1 million tires. So
United season is done
it's
for.
mad.
Big up Santi. United season's done for. It's all vibes and other sports for me. I'm moving like vibes and rotating jerseys every other day.
Moving like vibes. Santi, you mean Hamza,
The Spurs community.
the Palace
Listen,
community.
if you didn't know,
Mark.
Santi actually has a channel now, United Abroad. It's starting to pick up. We did the Super Bowl. He's uploaded a video about March Madness, which is massive in America. So yeah,
Started yesterday, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, give that a sub. United Abroad. Give that a sub, guys. Santi Other Sports is a funny way to spell a certain Twitch streamer. Oh gosh. Question for the panel: was Lampard a rushed decision, panic sign, or was he the right man for the job?
Matt.
That's a Matt question.
Right. So I said it to you before, and I say it again that when Everton got the money in with Mashiri, right, we obviously had the money we could attract managers, right? So we attracted the likes of Ronald Koeman, we attracted the likes of Marco Silva, who was an up-and-coming manager at the time. We attracted then Carlo Ancelotti. We had the money there, right? Every time you sack a manager, your manager pool gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller because of the state of the club. So your management pool gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And we were left with Frank Lampard, Vitor Pereira, and I think a couple of others. So Frank Lampard, for me, was the best of a bad bunch. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. Is he the right man to take Everton forward? Probably not. Is any manager in the world at the moment the right man to take Everton forward? Probably not, because the club is in such disarray financially. Well, not financially, their books are all over the place, and the squad is just the DNA of 7 or 8 different managers. So, in fairness, I think we just have to realise where we are. We're 17th in the league for a reason. Let Frank have a run at it. Let him try and improve his CV. Obviously, he'll probably, with the attitude and the ego that he has, he's going to try and bump on to bigger and better things, probably. But listen, if he turns out to move on to bigger and better things, it's because he's done a good job at Everton. So I'm all for it. If he wants to have a decent career at Everton, he's going to have to keep them in the league first off, and then try and get them challenging for the European places next year. So yeah, but to answer the question, I don't think it was a rush job, because they sacked Rafa Benitez and then didn't bring in a manager for nearly 3 weeks. So, but I think Lampard was the best manager out of the pool of managers that were available, if that makes sense.
Very, very fair answer. Big up Chris from listening to our die. Now, he has a quiz on Tuesday, which he asked if I could do. I can't make it. So, just to give you a bit of a breakdown, this Sunday I can't do the reaction or anything because I'm going to go see my mum. My mum's going to be traveling to Ghana soon. But then we're also it's also her birthday on Tuesday. So it's like a double visit. Like, we all tried to make it just Sunday, but if you know anything about African parents, boy, you didn't come to see me on my birthday? Huh? Yeah.
That wooden spoon comes out quick.
Literally. And so
Even at your big age,
well.
it still comes out.
Literally.
Hey, they don't rap JC, trust me.
They really don't. Oh gosh, well, gang. New debate: what travels quicker, a plane or
First touch of his what? His Oyster card, because that's all he was touching at Sellers Spot was his Oyster card.
Oh man, Chris, you don't have to apologize. You know it's all banner. It's all right. Listen, and if you do want that, go and subscribe to Chris. He's hilarious. When are we playing Leicester actually?
14th of April, I think.
Okay,
Or 10th of April. It's moved to a Sunday game now.
Oh, it's moved, hasn't it? Yeah. Chris, we'll have you on for that one. We'll have you on for that.
10th of April.
So that'll be after the Arsenal game.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Gray or Elise, and I think it's Elise. Yeah, spot on. Right, Nikki. Never mind. I'll leave it. I'm not gonna. Nah, I'll wait for you to come on stream.
Don't buy it.
Yeah, if I am lagging, listen, it's Virgin Media. Yeah, so it's what it is. It is what it is. Right, we'll do a combined 11.
Oh God.
So I
This might be a channel first. We might be actually picking our goalkeeper.
Not only that, we have to try and fit 3 Everton players into the squad.
Oh boy.
Normally we're like, can you please give us 3 Palace players? Now we're going to have to try and squeeze 3 Everton players.
Don't be so rude. It's still Pickford all day. Still Pickford all day. Don't be giving me any of this Kuwait and stuff again. Still
What, T-Rex arms?
Yeah, man, T-Rex arms. He's England's number 1 for a reason. And if Everton were losing 4-0, it would have been 7-0 only for Pickford.
Hold on.
Nah, Aaron Ramsdale's England's number 1. Less of this Pickford business.
I'm sorry. He's England number 1 for a reason. Maguire still plays for England. Don't give me that.
Yeah, and that's why he's still England's number 1, because he's saving Maguire's arse every bleeding single week when he plays for England. That's why.
Go on, Matt.
I'm saying Pickford because he is a better keeper than the Palace keepers.
All right, lovely. Stick right in there.
Yeah, man.
To be fair, I prefer Begovic actually. Just personal.
Nah, Pickford's getting a raw deal because Everton's defense is so bad this season. He's a good keeper.
I know. I'll probably have a hot take and probably agree with Matt in the sense of Pickford's kicking is superior to Gaita's by a million miles.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And his shot stopping is better as well.
I just thought I'd put the captain in first.
Oh, easily.
Matt, who you going for the other centre backs?
Oh man,
Joaquin Anderson.
Give me your 2 centre halves again.
Gay and Anderson.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Gay goes in. Gay definitely goes in there.
And so does Anderson.
100%.
Right back.
Climb at this rate.
Seamus Coleman.
I'd take Seamus Coleman as well, to be fair.
Give him Coleman.
Seamus Coleman.
Oh yeah, to be fair, we do need 3 Everton players, so.
Yeah, we need 1 more. So we're doing all right.
Good, because I didn't need any of them in the front line.
Mitchell's going in left back all day, every day, anyway.
Yeah, it's already there, mate. Don't worry.
The last time we had this chat, Dino was still at Everton, so that's why we had a bit of a discussion about this. But Mitchell's definitely in there this time, so yeah.
Okay, centre midfield.
Connor.
Connor's in there, yeah. But who do you put him in with? Like,
I'm sticking Cheku in here, you know.
Does Checky go in here?
I'm saying either Kuyate or Decore if Decore is fit.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Decore, yeah. But Alan, are we playing 3 midfield or 2 midfield?
3.
3. Decore, and then who have Palace to go in there against Alan?
Anyone else really?
Well, Alan's suspended, but we
are we talking about this game for this weekend? Is it?
So who's the attacking midfielder here?
Eze.
Guilty Sigurdsson.
Guilty?
No, I know, yeah. No, yeah. I'd say obviously Everton's midfield is struggling this year, so we don't really have a creative spark in there. So go with whatever you think there.
I'm not sure about Eze though. Is he going to play or not?
I doubt it.
I doubt it.
I don't know. I personally would put Van der Beek in there.
He's not going to be playing this weekend. He's cup tie.
Elise.
He's better off the right.
No, but you could put Richarlison right. Or is that 4 Everton players then?
Yeah,
Anthony Gordon getting a shout.
We've already got our 3 Everton players.
Have we? Oh yeah, Decore. Yeah.
Gotta go with Ebbs.
Why don't we push CG up and chuck in Shaky with Decore?
Good shout.
Have Conor Gallagher as attacking midfield. And
Yeah, that would make more sense.
Have Shaky in with Allen or Shaky in with Decore. I'm happy with that.
Absolutely. Big up Paul, by the way, from Daddy and the Don. Be shocked if we don't beat them. It is 1-0 Wolves.
Who scored? Jimenez.
Johnny.
Johnny.
Sanchez is Donny holding bench in this 11.
He chose the wrong football club. Had he come to the right club, he wouldn't be holding bench. But
he wouldn't have been getting a game at Palace, man.
oh, he would.
No, he would have. He would have, definitely.
The whole time Kouyaté was at AFCON, he would have walked into our first 11. 100%.
And there was a period where Jeffrey Schlupp wasn't the guy in midfield. Now he's kind of turned it around.
All right, what are we saying about this then?
Looks good.
That's decent.
I'm liking that.
Yeah, can't really argue with it.
Yeah, whatever.
Pickford surely ahead of Gaeta. Why? Because he's England's #1. But Gaeta was solid against City, just to be fair. This is it.
So, what's that matter?
Pickford
One
ain't
game.
good. That's what
Listen, that midfield is a beast.
it's
You're not
crazy.
getting through that.
How times have changed that Everton can only get bloody 3 players in, man. And one of them has small arms, the other one is 37 years of age. And sake, man. Is this team going on what we think will be starting on Sunday, or is it just in general?
No, we're just talking about the best players which are available for this match.
You don't have Richarlison or Dominic Calvert-Lewin in there, no?
For his dress sense alone, he's not getting in this 11.
Or Anthony Gordon as well. Anthony Gordon's playing really well lately.
He is. But this is why I said don't pick Pickford, but you wanted to throw him in there.
Are we only allowed 3 players or something?
No, you can have more, but we just don't believe that more players could get in.
Just gassing up your own team here.
Oh, 100%.
We don't get too often.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Well, the way it is, Anthony Gordon, Richarlison, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, you could easily put at least one of them in ahead of them 3 up top.
Calvert-Lewin ahead of Mateta, I'd agree.
Yeah.
It wouldn't weaken the team at all. Like.
But I'm not having Richarlison over Elise because all Richarlison will do is fall on the floor like Zaha.
Nah, to be fair, Richarlison is annoying me lately because of just the way he goes on. But when he's on fire, he's on fire. Like, but
Hi, what do you want to watch, man?
I'd have Gordon in there on the left hand side if he didn't have Calvert-Lewin there. Mateta up front.
What do you want
Over Wilf.
to watch?
Yeah, man. You know what? You know my feelings on Wilf, man.
I could try to hit more time. What do you want to watch?
Not over Wilf at the moment.
And Wilf.
Only because
That was very close to a sin-binnable offence.
no, you know what it is? He's just pissed that he signed the wrong winger in 2016. You know them ones.
Yeah, but Balassi, yeah. Bring him, he'd get into this team, wouldn't he? Oh, man.
I don't know, you know.
Nah, I think that it obviously like looking at that team there, like it's a strong team, like but I'm just disappointed that like I'm actually not even really sitting here outraged that you haven't put certain players in because I can't really say it with my chest that they should be in, like to be fair, like so yeah.
Well, trust me, we had City fans on and they were arguing constantly about take this player out for this City player, and it's like, mate, no, we've got to get our own players in there for Christ's sake.
Yeah, now like to be fair, in terms of form at the moment as well, you can't deny that these players are definitely the ones that are starting. Like you could even, I don't know, man. Like the Curry isn't really playing well at the moment either, so you could argue he shouldn't be in there. Like so.
No, but I'm not having Jeffrey Schlupp in this midfield because that would just give me an aneurysm.
I put it on.
Or could you change him? Or could you change Decore for Jimmy Mack? Because then you'll still have 3 Everton players.
No. Well, there's 4 in there now with that Calvert-Lewin, so take that.
No, you've done well, to be fair.
Done well, yeah.
We gave you 3, but you got 4, so
Yeah, fair play to you. Appreciate it.
it was like the one with City. I somehow got 5 in there.
Yeah, that was jokes.
I was like, yeah, we'll stop this. Use that. Oh, look, we got 5 now. That's better.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a decent enough team.
All right,
In
we're all
fairness.
happy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Sweet.
I'm not happy, but yeah, go for it.
Oh, you're happy, trust me.
I'll tell you what, right? If Everton hop off Palace on Sunday, we'll come back and do this starting 11 again. We'll see what happens then.
Well, listen, if you win, come back onto the review and give us the smoke.
Yeah, we will, yeah.
why we're
No
here.
bother.
But if you lose, you're getting put in a spliff. Same way.
No
And
worries,
if you
man. No
lose, you
worries.
still come on here.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
will. No, yeah, no bother. So I
If you-
take
if
the
you-
goof
if you
anyway in
win,
the chat.
listen.
Anyway.
If you win, we'll hold the corn. We're not afraid of holding corn. But if you
Yeah,
lose,
man.
it's like, nah. Look, the thing is, when we looked at the draw, right, I was saying anybody but the big three, and I'm happy. Don't matter who it is, just not Liverpool, City, or Chelsea.
I didn't want
Ideally,
Middlesbrough.
at home. No, Borough at home. I'd fancy us.
It was a good draw for both teams, basically.
Yeah.
Good draw for both teams. Like we both said it, especially in the chat and stuff like that. Like, listen, like you say, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City were in the draw. The likelihood of getting one of those three was high, and both teams managed to avoid them. So, like, it's a very, very good draw. And like we said earlier on, Palace have the slight advantage with the fact that it's being at Selhurst Park. So, toss of a coin job, lads.
That's the only thing that's given me like I'm don't get me wrong, I'm confident, but I'm nervous as hell because of how the magnitude of this game. If this
We're
was
not used to
Goodison Park-
quarterfinals, Rich. We're not.
We're not used to this, yeah.
Yeah,
The
but
last
both
time we
of
got here, we got put in a split by Watford.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
both-
same
both
team that
teams-
went to the final and held 6.
Yeah. If this was at Goodison, I'll be like, oh my days.
If it's a Goodison, it's a write-off. Straight write-off.
Yeah, I would still be there though.
You and
Yeah.
Luke having a race on the coaches.
No, I'll drive. I'll definitely beat him. But the thing is because of how the look on Everton is in the league this season, and how Everton are a bigger club than us anyway, is that we're both sort of looking at it like we could both win this, and we're both like we're both got one eye on this match because we both know it's very important, but we've also got one eye on the what if, and we're both feeling that, so it's gonna kill to lose this match.
It's going to.
But that's the danger of going further in the cup. The further you go and the closer you get to the business end, you're like, okay, please just hang in there, just stay in it.
And the
Because
moral,
remember, at the start of the channel, me and Rich, I said to Rich, mid-table and a decent cup run, and I'm happy.
Yeah.
Go back to the very first show me and Rich did together, and that's the very first thing I said was, I'm not hearing no Europe talk, none of that. Mid-table, decent cup run, I'm happy. Didn't give it a shit if it was the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup. A cup run, and I'm happy.
And especially since
Obviously, this is the one I wanted to go through more because, like, the Carabao Cup is just, yay, we won the Mickey Mouse Cup that no one cares about unless you win it. Yay, wicked! No, FA Cup.
Yes, it's Eagle. There is a rumor. I just didn't know the makers were, but I knew that will change in our kit makers.
Provided it's not Macron, I'm happy because I don't want to ever see Macron as our kit suppliers ever
yeah,
again.
I saw a rumor that it was either Reebok or New Balance.
Okay.
I'd prefer Adidas and go back to the old school TDK strip.
Oh, yeah,
That one was cold.
I wouldn't mind a Nike one because then all the actual club merch would be really high quality as well.
Yeah, good point.
Our Nike kits used to be pretty slick as well.
You would say that, but Everton had Nike for one season and they got rid of them very quickly. Because like they look after the bigger teams who are sponsored by Nike.
Right.
So that's what happens.
You know what? I was kind of slightly wishing that we kept this kit for another season. I really like this top.
Yeah, I like this Puma kit. I won't lie.
Yeah, I really do like it.
When I first saw it and I thought the slanted straps, I was like, nah, man. But now it's grown on me a lot.
Yeah, but see, JC, the thing is, right? The Macron kit that killed me was 16-17, the chunky stripe kit. The sleeves were red, the middle was blue, and it was it's like
Yeah.
because Steve Harris said, "Oh, if you put them all together, standing together, it's red and blue stripes." Steve, get your bike, mate. Piss off.
Oh, that was the one where Benteke had a good season, wasn't it?
Yeah, Benteke's one good season.
Yeah.
Yeah. CP4 Life, sorry, has a good point here. I think this is going to be down to the amount we run. If we have any sort of a press like we did on, or just the running intensity that we did on Monday night, I think we can overpower Everton. You know, and we've got to make sure we keep the Corey quiet because he's a very powerful runner from midfield.
We need to bully the back line because, as Matt said, they shit their pants if you put it on them. And we need Wilf to have the game of his life against Seamus Coleman because as much as Seamus Coleman is a wily customer and knows how to deal with players like Zaha, he hasn't got the pace to catch him. Even though Zaha has lost a yard of pace, but it's like Wilf needs to turn up because remember what we said all along. The Wilfred Zaha we want to see, we've seen in patches here and there.
Yeah.
Look at what was it, Norwich and Watford. And then you compare that to the Brentford game, and you were like, "Did he play? Was he there? Are you sure he was there?"
Rich, can I just say?
I wouldn't be. Sorry, man. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, we
Yeah.
forgot you were here. Sorry.
In terms of the running and, as you're saying, the distance, I think that comes from the fans. As long as the home support, like it was Monday night, is going to be like it on Sunday, it will be a really. Has he gone? Okay. It'll be a really good match to see from Palace because the home support's on it. We're going to win.
All we need realistically is the Homesdale to be on it, which there will be because the Fanatics will not allow the Homesdale to be quiet. And the Arthur is usually boisterous anyway. It all depends on kind of the main stand, but the main stand's a bit of a tricky one. And the family stand, which is the White Horse, you just know it's not going to be that loud. But what we need to hope is that because Everton have got a normal allocation, they don't have a bigger allocation than normal. You know how normally they get.
I think they have 4,000. It's not free. I think they're taking a good chunk of people.
No, I've seen that it's a standard allocation. It's not expanded allocation as far as I've seen. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's gonna be loud. It's gonna be like the Everton traveling fans are loud. They're very good.
Are.
The only issue with the Everton traveling fans this time around is that it's a 12:30 kickoff, and it's tough for them to get down there for kickoff time. They have to leave at like bloody 5 o'clock in the morning and all just to get down there on time if they're traveling by car and coach. There's certain trains.
Yeah, try going Liverpool to London on train. It's peak.
Yeah, so
it's not
that's
fun.
like that. Everton fans were giving out stink about that, but they'll still be there. They'll still be. You'll definitely hear the Everton fans, and I'm just hoping they turn up, man. To be honest, because like you say, if Everton turn up, if Everton play like they played against Brentford in the cup and Leeds in the league, and against Man City when Man City beat us 1-0, I think we're a challenge or we're a match for any team in the league. It just depends on who turns up. But first goal is the most important. I think, like we keep saying, it's on.
We turn up like we did against Watford and City. You could get slapped. I know Watford are a much poorer side than City, but it was actually like Christ, they're poor.
Yeah. I know Everton. It's literally night and day with Everton. Like it's night and day. Everton could be really, really good, and they show how good they can be. They show that they are a top 10 side, but they only show that every 3 or 4 games, and that's the reason why they're in the situation that they're in. I mean, when you talk about picking your battles, I would have rather them play well against Wolves when we got beaten 1-0 than play really well against City and lose 1-0. Do you know what I mean? So it's picking the battles when you're down that low. It was actually embarrassing against Wolves in the weekend. We were so bad. Like Ruben Neves ran the show against us, and then last night Newcastle were still very good as well. And like Newcastle had I think they were nearly 60% possession before the sending off, and then like Everton were just kept trying to counter attack them, and Newcastle had so much space in the ball, and the midfield were far better, I thought. Although Allen and Decore had decent enough games. Decore hasn't been great lately, though. That's the only problem. I'm worried about that. More blocks in the AW. Attacking wing. I think Everton are going to play. Do you know what you said earlier on, Nate? That kind of stuck with me about Zaha's pace, or Jordan said it about Zaha's pace. I wouldn't be surprised if they play three at the back, three centre halves. Sorry, 5 at the back, and have Coleman on the far right hand side, maybe Michaelenko on the left, and have Ben Godfrey playing right hand side of the back three, just to kind of cover Zaha's pace. I don't know if they'll have him playing right back and drop Coleman. I don't see them doing that, so I think they might play 5 at the back. Michaelenko, Holgate, Keane, middleman. Then you have Godfrey, and then Coleman, 5 at the back, kind of wing backs. Like, wouldn't be surprised if they went down that route. Lampard's done that a few times, like, and it hasn't really worked. But because of our midfield predicament at the moment, obviously we don't have Donny, we don't have Alan now because the appeal was rejected. So I think we might go 2 in midfield, unfortunately. But we don't really have that much of a choice.
So, all right, let's wrap this up. Let's do score predictions, and then we'll sign out. So, Matt, what are you saying?
I think it could be a score draw and either team to win in extra time. I can't call
God,
it.
I don't want that.
Mate, that's what I predicted with Stoke. Just stress FC.
I can see. Do you know what? I can see Palace having the majority of the ball, and if Everton were to win, it'd be a smash and grab job, like last night. That's how I see it going. So obviously I'm going to say that Everton are going to win, but I think they'll win probably in extra time.
What's the score?
1-0 in extra time to Everton.
Oh, all right, Luke. You said we've got Super Pat Vieira. Does he know exactly what we need to do?
Yes, we're gonna 3-1. Ed Bard's
Okay. Nate?
It's a case of, if it's Charity Professional Football Club, it's going to be a Nathaniel Klein own goal. Either of our goalkeepers going to come flying off the line. Nobody's near it. However, if it's the same performance we saw against City, but we're just more clinical, this is going to give James and Sean some very, 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 very good positive vibes. Mateta's going to have a madness and put Michael Keane firmly in the mud. But having said that, 2-1 Palace, just.
Rich?
2-0 Palace. I just feel we've been defensively pretty stable lately. Hopefully that continues.
I think I agree with. No, do I agree with Nate? I'll go 3-1 Palace. I think that Calvert-Lewin always causes us problems when we play against them. But yeah, I think that's all we need to touch on for this match preview.
We just need Mark Guay's streak to hold up as captain. That's all we need.
I'd just like to say that shout out Palace TikTok for putting on that video of Mateta doing 1 million step overs through Millwall and that
Tasty Jack.
and Tasty Jerk and Morley's and he put like Sellers train depot as well. I was going through everywhere, bruv.
Well, let's be fair. He's still probably doing a dancing around at the Sellers Park pitch the way he was moving.
Mate, you know if IU did that and didn't pass to Gallagher, we'd be rinsing IU completely.
You know what it is? I think it was more shock because we've never seen Mateta do.
Yeah.
No, because those step overs look dodgy as well.
To be fair, you got to remember the last time we saw him get techie was that Spinaroonie against the Seaweed.
Yeah.
And that was just like, wait, what's he just done?
Yeah, exactly.
This is
big times, big game. As Nate said, probably our biggest game of the season now.
Yeah.
Joint biggest game, because the derby was easily the biggest game of the season. But yeah, it's the joint biggest game.
Well, let's round this out. So, yeah, that's what
Up
we
the
do.
Palace.
Oh, not me. Not me. Matt, shout out your channel.
Yeah, so I'm on the weekly Armchair Sports Talk channel. I'm hosting the Talk of the League podcast every Monday night. The guys do loads of different channels. I think the lads are majority Manchester United fans, so they have Manchester United dedicated podcast. They actually have a wrestling podcast every Thursday. They have a basketball podcast every Friday as well. Dimes and Buckets. So if you're a fan of basketball or wrestling, WWE or anything like that, go over and subscribe to the weekly Armchair Sports Talk channel. And you can catch me and my co-host Jamie every Monday at 7 to talk about all things Premier League, not just a specific team. So thanks very much for having us on, guys. And may the best team win on Sunday.
Sweet. Luke?
I haven't got a channel, but come on, you Palace. Let's in this game.
You can find him on SmackDown.
WrestleMania settings.
SmackDown versus Raw.
Eagle-eyed Nate, eagle-eyed football. You know what it is already. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, all of that.
It's your own channel.
Are you hearing?
Don Rich.
Don Richie.
Just find me here. Yeah, look out for the fan cams on Sunday. Massive game. Massive
100%.
game.
100%.
And then we prep for Arsenal after that. I'm going to be sending out mad emails to see if we can get on AFTV or something. Why not?
Oh yeah, we need to go and
We just need to go and raid their thing, innit? Yeah, let's just go raid their fan cams.
I think we should probably go there and then set up right next to them.
Yeah, big up everyone. Keep locking and keep subscribing. Share
Yeah.
the channel.
Mine, the at's there and the channel's on leave. I'll say it's just not. It's not there. Transfer window. We'll be back.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you for the review. Come on, you Palace.
Come on.
Oh, the Tubbies.
We are out. Up the Palace.
Simbin, what do you mean up the